Hi, everyone. Happy 2020. I can't believe that we are finally here, January 2020. I know that for my businesses, we spent a lot of the end of 2019 planning for kind of this moment and the year ahead. I'm going to give us just a couple of seconds here in case people are going to be popping on. For those of you that are new friends that I haven't met yet, my name is Kate. I am the owner and CEO of Clem & Co., as well as two other photography businesses, Clem Studios and Wild Clementine. And Clem & Co. was born partway through 2019 out of kind of a need to separate this love of branding, brand photography, supporting small businesses, female entrepreneurs. It felt like it really needed its own home and its own space. So here we are in the virtual Clem & Co. world. I am really excited to be chatting with you guys today, sharing with you some ideas on visioning and goal setting. I know that your feeds have just been inundated with vision board events like the one that I have tonight, and goal setting and prepping for the year ahead and starting off the new year right. I'm definitely hopping on that train, but for good reason, because I think that it's very easy to get overwhelmed and caught up, but also really, really motivated at this time of year. Tea break. Because we get a ton of motivation and ideas, sometimes, maybe we don't, towards the end of a year going into a new one. Sometimes we're just raring to go. Sometimes we're overwhelmed. You might be feeling feelings of 2019 didn't go the way that I wanted it to. It just wasn't what I thought. How am I going to make it up in 2020? Maybe you're on the other side of the coin of, yes, 2019 was amazing. I'm ready to crush 2020. Maybe you just don't know where to start. I am here to help you. And the intention is that you'll get some tips on how to vision and goal set from the heart for getting you to a place that's going to make the impact that you want to make, not only for your clients, but also in your life. When we look at the ways that we want to impact the world and interact and how that's going to fill up our cup and light us up, that's going to trickle over into the experience that we give our clients and the way that they interact with us and the impact that we have on them. So it's just that continuing ripple effect. So I really want us to look at what feels true for us, what feels right for us, and the goals that are going to get us to the place that we want to be as human beings, as business owners, partners, whatever it may be. All right, so the first step in visioning and goal setting for 2020 is to take a deep breath, settle in, realize that there are no expectations. Nothing is right that you set, nothing is wrong that you set, they're neutral. This is simply a framework that you are deciding that you would like to follow. Also, know that it's not set in stone. This plan can be malleable, it can be formed into whatever you like. Plans change. The number of times that I've looked at the goals that I've set at the beginning of the year, and I just did this for 2019, and then at the end of the year, I look at it and what I thought that I wanted to set out and do changed drastically partway through the year. So just know that oftentimes plans do change. And I was just talking with my business coach, life coach, and friend Kayla on a Tuesday, where she said, let me let you in on a secret. We set these plans and then usually we scrap them. We just chuck them in the garbage. But this gives us an idea to call into our minds and our space what it is we think that we want to create. Because once we make a declaration, we write it down and we tell somebody about it, I forget what the stat is, but we are like X amount of times more likely to make that happen. So the intention of, the first thing that we want to do is look at what do we think that is? What's true for us in this moment? What are the goals and the visions that are going to make an impact for us? So take that deep breath, settle in, maybe close your eyes if that feels good. And I want you to look at December 31st, 2020, roughly 1 year from today. Where do you want to be? What are you feeling? What are you celebrating? Who's around you while you're celebrating this? Just really get into that sense of, I have accomplished everything that I wanted to and more. This was beyond what I thought was possible. how would you be celebrating? How would you be feeling in that space? Would you be excited? Would you be relieved, crying tears of joy, jumping up and down, dancing? Really feel that inside of yourself. How would it feel to have all of that happen? Where are you 1 year from now? Then we want to take a step back from that. If that's the feeling that you're having, what is likely to have happened? What are some of the goals or milestones that you would have hit to be feeling this way? This might come to mind right away. It might be something that pops and you're like, ooh, that's really scary. That's really big. I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I'm worthy of that. I don't know if I deserve that. That's probably the one that you should go with. But maybe it's a money goal. Maybe it's a number of clients that you want to bring on, a number of programs that you want to launch, a number of products that you want to sell. It's probably a kind of scary number because that's your soul and hey, this is what gets to happen for us to have this dream life. You want this experience? This is what's going to get us there, the tangible numbers part of it. So what are some of those initial goals that come to mind? So the next question I would have then, I'm pausing in case anybody's taking notes during this live or if they're rewatching it. What are the ways that you would want to grow your business this year that would really light you up? Maybe it's something that's been on your heart, kind of back burner, a program that you're like, I don't know if this is going to serve somebody, or there are so many people saying this right now. So even though I'm really called to share this, who cares? What's it going to matter coming from me? That is the thing, because there could be somebody out there that needs to hear your message, your program, have your product. And the fact that it's coming from you is going to make all the difference for them. So what is one of the things or the thing that you would love to introduce into your business and have that be a growth opportunity for you that's just going to light you up inside? Go ahead and jot down some of those ideas. And then kind of dovetailing off of that, what are some new opportunities, new offerings that you want to bring into the world? Is it an extension of a program you already have, something completely new, a different way that you approach something that you already do? What are those new opportunities and offerings that you want to bring into the business? So looking at that from a whole of where you want to be at the end of the year, how you want to be feeling, what are most likely some of the goals that you'd be setting to make that happen, or milestones that you might be hitting to make that happen? What's going to light you up when you bring it into the world? What's something new that you maybe want to provide to your business? Once you have all of that, I would then encourage you to set maybe at least 5 goals, or one goal for each topic that you've written down. And we want these goals to be specific, measurable, and we want to assign a reward for when we reach them. The reason that we want them to be specific and measurable is we can throw out a goal saying, I want to lose weight this year. Great. How much weight? If you lose 1 pound, does that mean that you've reached your goal? Maybe. If you lose 50 pounds, does that mean that you've reached your goal? Maybe. But we want to have a specific number that's going to be trackable. So let's say that we want to lose 50 pounds. So if 50 pounds over the year, maybe you divide that by 12 and say that is an average of X pounds a month. But besides that, we also want to think about why that goal is important to us, because oftentimes it's more than just the number on the scale. If we're using the weight analogy, it's about, I'm going to be flexible. I'm going to feel healthier. I'm going to have more energy. I'm going to love my body. I'm going to feel great in my clothing. I'm going to feel super sexy for my partner. I'm going to feel sexy for myself. I'm going to love myself on a new level. Whatever it may be, think about that experience that goal is going to give us. So we've got the experience of the goal, feeling great, healthy, energized. We have the tangible measure, which is the 50 pounds. And then what is the reward for that? Maybe you buy yourself a new wardrobe, or even just one outfit. Maybe you subscribe to a healthy meal planning kit that you've really been wanting to try and that you've been loving and just seeing on Instagram, social media, that kind of thing. Assigning yourself a reward and reminding yourself what you get at the end of this can be super motivating. That's what I do for all of my goals for 2020 is I have them written out on a note page. I'm referencing them over here because they're literally right next to me. I have them sitting out open all day. I can track them, and then I have a celebration or a reward assigned for each of them. So that's the next place that we want to go when we're visioning and goal setting for 2020. And then finally, I kind of alluded to this with the weight analogy, is that we want to break large goals down, because oftentimes what's going to happen is, let's say we set a money goal of $100,000 in revenue for 2020. That might feel super intimidating, especially if in 2019 you made $50,000 in revenue. But once we start breaking it down into, okay, that's, a little less than 10,000 a month, or that's this amount a week, about $2,000 a week, then our brain kind of takes a deep breath. It's like, okay, this number is a little bit smaller. We just have to look at this at a week view or by month view. That's the way that we get into the habit of tricking our mind about not thinking so much about that big looming goal or the goal that seems impossible. Whenever those words and thoughts are coming up, that's kind of our critter brain or the shitty committee telling us, trying to keep us small and keep us in the place that we're at, which where we are is perfect because it got us to where we are. And whatever space we're in right now, we are successful. We are worthy of everything that's coming to us. And we are meant to do whatever it is that we're being called to do. But when we try to up-level our lives and we think about that next step, that can bring up a lot of fear. And that shitty committee wants us to essentially stay safe. They want to keep us alive. So they say, no, sister, you can't go after six figures this year because we stayed alive making $50,000 in 2019. So we're just going to do that again. So we're just going to keep doing everything. We're going to stay on this track. We're not going to step away from it because we were alive. We were fed. We had a roof over our head. That's all that matters. So they're looking out for our safety, which we just get to take a deep breath, say, thank you so much. I hear you. You get to take a break. I'm going to work on this next level that's still going to keep us safe. And it's totally possible for me. So the ways to vision and goal set for 2020 as a recap would be thinking about where you want to be at the end of 2020. How are you celebrating? How are you feeling? Who's around you? What are you smelling? Really get into that experiential place of it. Feel that, embody that, write it down, whatever is going to remind you of that feeling. Then we want to look at what are some of the big milestones that would have come up while we're thinking about that celebration. If I'm doing this and I'm feeling this way, what most likely would have happened or what goal would I have hit to be feeling this way? So for me, I'm looking at the end of 2020 and I am celebrating with a really great dinner with friends and family. New Year's Eve, we're getting dressed up, we're all drinking together, we are just celebrating so hard. And I have a money goal associated with that that's going to equal that feeling and that measure. So looking at those thoughts and ideas that are coming up while we're thinking about that experience at the end of 2020. Then we want to look at the ways that we want to grow our business with our current offerings and any new offerings that we want to bring into the world. So if we already have a program, maybe it's some of the tweaks that we want to make. Maybe it's a new program that we're bringing in. Either way, setting some goals around that for either number of clients, number of enrollment, number of products sold, whatever it may be, put a number to that. Oftentimes our end of the year goals are money goals. That just kind of makes it easy. It may not be, and that's okay. If it is a money goal, you get to look at what your money goal is, what you might want your client or product number to be, and then just some math of dividing it and seeing if that works. If not, then you have room for possibility and room for something new to come into your life and your business plan because, like I mentioned before, we might get about 4 months into this and scrap the whole plan and something new comes, and that's okay. This is just a way to get us started, get our feet moving down that path of up-leveling and down that path of greatness and further success. So then once we have those new offerings, new ideas, we know how we want to be feeling at the end of the year, where we want to be, I recommend setting a goal for each of those. So let's say that you've thought of a new offering products that you want to share. How many enrollments do you want in that product? How many new clients do you want? Set a goal around that. And then we want these goals to be, again, specific, measurable, and have a reward with them. So using that weight loss analogy again, we don't want to just say, I want to lose weight in 2020. I want to lose 50 pounds in 2020 by December 31st, 2020. That's going to be this many pounds a month. And once I reach this goal, because I am going to reach this goal, I will get this reward. And come up with a reward that you feel is equal to the amount of work and the amount of celebration that you think that that goal is worth. And then I alluded to this again, break those large goals down, because that's going to make it feel a lot easier in our head, a lot more aligned in our heart, and it's going to encourage us to take action faster on working towards these goals rather than just looking at this big looming number in front of us or whatever your goal may be and just thinking, that's too much, can't do it, I'm just going to stay here and just keep looking at it for a while and just keep thinking about it. No, when we break it down, that's easier to digest mentally, emotionally, and that really encourages us to get on that path and move towards that greatness. If you want to take this even a step further, I have a free guide that I've made. It's the Business Goals and Visual Strategy Alignment Worksheet. So this really ties it into the business portion of your goals. And what you're able to do, again, we're looking at where you want to be at the end of 2020. We're setting some of those goals, and then we're looking at what visual strategies, what messaging do we want to be sharing with our communities online these are going to ensure that we make that impact and we hit those goals in 2020. So I will link to that guide in the comments. Again, totally free resource, but it really gives you a chance to write out what your thoughts are, your ideas are, your goals are, brainstorm ideas on concepts or messaging that you want to be sharing with your clients online, whether it's Facebook or Instagram, Pinterest, whatever it may be. And then it lets you take action and get started with those steps. And bonus for that, if you want to share it with me afterwards, I would love to see what you're excited and lit up to be creating in 2020. If you have any questions on where you want to go in 2020, please feel free to reach out to me. But those are the ways to vision and goal set from a heart-centered space that's going to really encourage you to make the impact that you want to make in the world, not only for yourself, but for your clients too. Please reach out to me if you have any questions. I would love to be a resource for you, and I cannot wait to see what you accomplish and come up with in 2020. I am here on this ride with you. We've got some big goals, big projects and announcements coming in the next few weeks, and I just can't wait. I'm so grateful that you were on this journey with me. So have a awesome, what day are we on? Thursday. Thought it was Friday. Stay safe, stay warm for those of you that are my friends here in Wisconsin and Green Bay. It is chilly. We got some bad weather coming, so stay safe, stay warm, and I will talk to you soon. Have an awesome day.